Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon as we introduce our body-worn camera pilot program initiative. Joining us here is Colonel Christopher Paris, Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. To his left is Dave Kennedy, Pennsylvania State Troopers Association President. To his left, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, our Deputy Commissioner of Operations. Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Klein, the Deputy Commissioner of Administration and Professional Responsibility, and Ms. Brooke Mead, Special Assistant to the Commissioner. I'll turn it over to the Colonel.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Good afternoon. I'm pleased to announce today the implementation of a body-worn camera program and the replacement of in-car video recorders for the Pennsylvania State Police. Every member of the Pennsylvania State Police, upon graduation from the Training Academy and promotion to the rank of trooper, takes an oath to serve honestly, faithfully, and if need be, lay down their life rather than to swerve from the path of duty. Troopers swear to conduct themselves at all times in a professional manner that upholds the honor of the Pennsylvania State Police and the sanctity of our 7 core values. One of those core values is trust. We believe that we must solemnly value the trust placed in us by those we are sworn to serve, and we are committed to holding ourselves to a higher standard of accountability to continually earn respect each and every day. Another of these core values is service. We recognize that service is our highest priority. We are committed to providing caring, competent, and professional police service. With trust and service in mind, I'm pleased to announce the implementation of this program. Our department entered into a 5-year contract with Axon, a preeminent manufacturer of body-worn cameras for law enforcement agencies across the United States, with an option of renewals after the initial 5 years. In addition to the body-worn cameras, the contract will replace the mobile video recording, the MVR system, in patrol vehicles, and additionally, interview room cameras at each station. We would like to thank Governor Shapiro and the legislature for the implementation of the cameras and making them a reality. For an agency as large as ours, equipping our troopers with the cameras and providing the infrastructure needed to support the video and the data is no easy undertaking. This is an initiative that began under multiple administrations of the Governor's Office, the Pennsylvania State Police, and multiple legislative sessions. The use of the cameras will provide unique benefits to both the public and our department. The public expects trustworthiness, transparency, and professionalism from their law enforcement agencies. These cameras will capture more public interactions between troopers and citizens than ever before, while also serving to provide transparency to residents and visitors of the Commonwealth. The cameras will serve as an objective means of documenting interactions between troopers and citizens. Our troopers will benefit from the use of cameras while using the footage as evidence during criminal proceedings and using the cameras to enhance officer safety. The cameras can also be used to protect citizens and troopers both against false claims of misconduct or abuse. Previously, troopers had to rely on the in-car video recorders to capture interactions with the public. These in-car video recorders had limitations, as the only video that was captured was that directly in front of the patrol car. For example, if a trooper responded to a call for service inside of a home or business, the in-car camera may not be able to pick up the video or the audio for that trooper. With the body-worn cameras, now video and audio will be available for the entirety of the interaction. This will result in increased transparency and enhanced documentation of calls for service. The footage can also be used to expand training opportunities. Best practices gleaned from footage captured by PSP can be shared and implemented in department training for current troopers and cadets. A 60-day pilot program for the rollout began 2 weeks ago at Troop H Carlisle in Cumberland County on July 24th. We have 2 members today, Troopers Black and Neidig, who are representative of the patrol unit at Troop H Carlisle. The pilot program is designed to fine-tune department policy for the use of cameras and determine equipment needs before continuing the rollout to the rest of the 87 PSP installations across the Commonwealth. This will be a progressive rollout to the remaining 87 installations, and the findings of the pilot program will be a key driver of allocating technological and policy resources to make that occur. Troop H Carlisle was selected for the pilot program based on its geographic area. Cumberland County's terrain is very variable, and it's a mix of urban, suburban, and rural areas that help to mimic those areas across the Commonwealth for full implementation. Additionally, the station is located in close proximity to the Bureau of Communications and Information Services, BCIS, which is headquartered close distance away here in Harrisburg, which is the department bureau tasked with implementing the cameras. And that factored into our decision as well. Technologically speaking, we feel that Axon's product is top of the line and gives our troopers the most up-to-date technology to best suit their needs. The video and data will be cloud-based, minimizing manual uploads of the footage. This allows for troopers to focus on the bigger tasks at hand without taking additional time out of their shift. In closing, we're very excited about embracing this technology as the Pennsylvania State Police moves toward the future of law enforcement. This program maintains our commitment to staying at the forefront of both equipment and technology, as well as our primary goal of providing our personnel with the resources necessary for increasing personal safety, job efficiency, effectiveness, and service. With that, I will now turn it over to the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association President, Dave Kennedy.
Thank you, Colonel. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone. On behalf of the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association, I want to lend our support to the use of body-worn cameras. This technology has become an important tool in law enforcement and is an added layer of protection for good police work. However, the PSTA support is contingent upon Pennsylvania putting into place a fully funded program and a long overdue increase in our complement. Right now, Pennsylvania only has a complement of 4,740 troopers. Despite PSP serving as the primary law enforcement agency for 87% of the Commonwealth. As we continue to face growing crime concerns in communities across Pennsylvania, we cannot afford to lose a single trooper to any new programs. It's been a generation since our department has received a legislatively approved increase to our complement. Since then, the world has changed a great deal and the challenges continue to increase. The time has come to increase our complement to assist with this body-worn camera program. With fresh resources and more troopers, Pennsylvania can build a national model for other states to emulate. The PSTA looks forward to working with the department, the Shapiro administration, and the General Assembly to achieve this goal. Thank you.
Mr. Kennedy, would you, since you're here?
Yes, sir.
So I want to make clear here, the union will not support this effort unless you get more troopers on the force.
That's not what I said. We will absolutely support this, but it needs to be fully funded, and it needs to be, we need a complement increase.
It was contingent upon, those are the words you used.
That's correct, but
so that would mean unless you get more, then you wouldn't support.
That would be, they'd be your words, sir. We believe in this program, we believe in the department. It's just we need more resources to accomplish the goal, which is to set the standard.
So, do you support the camera program?
We support the camera program, yes.
And if your complement remains at, I think, the 4,700, you said you'll still support the program?
Yes.
Now open it up for questions.
Some would argue that small police departments across the Commonwealth and across this country have already done this and have had them in play for quite some time now. What do you say to those who would say that you've simply been too late and too slow about putting this in place?
Thank you for that question, Jeff. I would say the short answer to that question is we've been working on it. The longer and more detailed answer to that question is the state police maintains over a 2-decade history of mobile video recorders in our cars. So we maintain a very large fleet. That is a server-based function. So when the video is taken in the cars, it's stored in a hard drive. When a car returns to one of those 88 installations, the car will then upload that video into a server. That's a server-based function. Several years ago, in this most recent request for proposal around 2020, there were several times where we were looking at this before, it was apparent to us that the mobile video recorders in the cars were well beyond their protracted use life, and it necessitated us paying an annual maintenance fee that blanketly warranted older equipment that was essentially beyond its projected use life. Pausing there, anytime you deal with a body-worn camera setup, the generation of the video is exponentially larger, making a server-based solution not practicable. So the idea that we would spend money on body-worn cameras when we had a system in the cars that was well beyond its protracted use life caused us to really look at this as globally as we could. And the request for proposal called for both replacing the in-car cameras, which were double their projected use life. We tried to maintain that equipment as well as we could, and adding on the additional capability of body-worn cameras, making it all a cloud-based solution, which is what this program is designed to do. So in terms of addressing our municipal partners or other agencies that have been able to do this, when you look at the topography, the geography, the population, the number of vehicles, they are all exponentially bigger in dealing with the Pennsylvania State Police. And I would say that it was not in any way, shape, or form a day late or a dollar short. This was a contemplated action to give us the best global solution that we possibly could.
Do you think that in some of your interactions with the public, including a shooting of a teenager on 95 in June, that your investigation would have been better and more complete and more indicative of what truly happened had those troopers been wearing body cameras on that day?
Not speaking to any specific investigation that you reference, as it is an ongoing investigation, I would take a step back and I would say that the state police for decades have used the video in cars to document what we do. You see here today management and labor fully supportive of this initiative. I think that it makes a trooper better utilizing these tools to document what's going on. We welcome that scrutiny. Certainly there are people nearby in medical facilities who perhaps are performing very tedious and sophisticated medical procedures that may not be willing to put on a body camera when they do brain surgery, for example. And I would assert in that hypothetical, there's not a reasonable likelihood that the person that they're operating on could be a threat to not only the doctor's life, but the nurses around that physician that is performing that procedure. Whereas in law enforcement, not only are we worried about the safety of the public, but that of our own. And I think that this is scrutiny that we welcome, and I think that these body cams are going to be a tool just like the in-car cameras have been for 2 decades.
So you have no update on the investigation into the police shooting of
I do not.
Okay. So how will these be rolled out? Like, how many officers are wearing body cams at the Carlisle?
So right now, I believe the number is 43 troopers of varying ranks and positions at Carlisle. Part of what the pilot program is designed to flush out is the model by which we issue the equipment. Obviously, if we issued it on a per capita basis, it would be an extreme driver of cost. We certainly want to be good stewards with public funds. So we've opted for a shared model, and we're attempting to use that in real life, everyday patrol work to see how that's working not only in Carlisle, but how we would project that to be used all across the Commonwealth.
How long do you expect it to just stay at the Carlisle?
So the Carlisle pilot program is expected to go between 60 and 90 days. Thereafter, we will take what we've learned, we will look at our policy, and we will again start building it out across the other 87 installations across the Commonwealth.
I guess does that 5-year contract with Axon, is that already begun? Has that started with
Yes, the contract is a 5-year contract with multiple options for renewal.
Okay. And then just to put into context how beneficial this would be for you guys, obviously tragic incident with Jacques Rougeau that happened nearly 2 months ago. So in terms of that incident, that tragic incident that happened, and now the idea of you guys having body cam footage, how advantageous and how beneficial would it have been for you guys to have that in the investigation with that?
My answer to that would be, along with the body cam or the mobile video recording footage that we have from that incident, it would only be enhanced, and that we see it as a tool that troopers rely on every day for the dash camera, and we see that we're going to take that and we're going to expand that out.
One more question.
As the pilot is rolled out, how immediately will in-interview and in-car cameras be removed?
I'm not understanding your question. Meaning the cars.
Cams were intended to replace the in-car?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay.
So what I said was, in answer to Mr. Cole's question, we had a system of in-car dash cameras, mobile video recorders, that were beyond their projected use life. Excuse me. So we went to a cloud-based solution for both, now body cameras as well as the in-car cameras. So the implementation of the program for the body cams will involve both the body cameras, which is just a matter of providing the training to the troopers and issuing that equipment, but also upfitting the vehicles in the fleet with the new mobile video recording.
Colonel, will the troopers have to engage the camera?
Yes.
So and how long is the pre-roll? I know there's sometimes a slowness in
I'll get you an answer as to what the buffering cycle would be, but the troopers, our policy seeks to engage them for all official police and citizen interaction.
Any interaction, they've got to be able to push the button and get it to
Yes.
roll at any time.
Yes. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming out today. It's an exciting day for the state police. Thank you.